Hey guys, turn the headphone off. Good to see you guys. Thanks for coming and hanging out. So what are we talking about today? So the Nimble Discord a little while ago actually hit 500, 5,000, 5,000 people. So Matt and Ross had the good idea of doing like a cool little celebration to as a thank you to the community for being so cool and helpful and all this sort of stuff. So this is for the Discord people. I mean, you're on YouTube, you're not on Discord. That's fine. You can hang out too. But the people on Discord. Submitted a bunch of questions. We're going to do some cool Q&A and hang out and talk about Nimble and talk about where things are going next. I got some cool stuff I want to show you guys as some sneak previews of things that are coming. So yeah, we're just sort of hanging out and talking about what's going on, and I just wanted to say thank you. And if you're watching live, we're going to do a submit monster ideas, and we're gonna do a live design here on the stream, and then I will package that up and I'll give that everybody give that to everybody for free on the Discord. So whatever monster you guys want to do, silly or serious or whatever, we'll do something cool. Hey mom, yep, back home. Back home. Everybody say hi to mom. Was one of the most recent. All right, cool, very cool, very cool. 5,288. All right. Okay, very cool. Thanks for hanging out, Ross. I know he's got some stuff going on, so. Okay, so yeah, I saw this earlier. So Kickstarter's shipping stuff is weird. Just everything that it says about shipping is just wrong. So just look at the shipping chart, and that'll take care of it. So of course there's no shipping. The internet tubes are free to ship things. So if we go here, so the Kickstarter, I don't know what in the world's going on with Kickstarter. It doesn't let me change things. But yeah, so this is going to be pretty close to where the shipping is going to end up for the physical goods, and then for digital goods, of course, there's no shipping. So just ignore that. You'll only be charged just for the tier that you have. Was it already said how many dice will fit in the extras box? It comes, so it's gonna have a drawer about this big. This is the initial mock-up. And it's going to come with 12 dice, so 2 full sets. Let's just see. Pick up all the dice from my desk. It can fit all the dice on my desk, which is 20 or 30 with space left over. So it could fit maybe 30 or 40 dice. I don't know. It could fit a lot of dice. Yeah, 5 dice left. What are the odds of hitting 1,000,000? So not 100%, but also not zero. Also not zero. So yeah, let's go to the top. So we're at 748 already, everybody. So that's that's absolutely crazy. That is absolutely crazy. So let's see. Let's see what BackerKit is tracking us at right now. Yep. So BackerKit is tracking us at 950, where we're going to end up somewhere. Again, take this with a big grain of salt, but we'll see. We'll see. They've been fairly accurate. I do have some cool stuff coming up next week also, so we'll see. But again, if it just stopped here where it is, like that's crazy already. So let's jump right into some of these questions, guys. Let's jump right into some of these questions. So first question, is there going to be a cloth map included in the All-In Deluxe Edition? Not currently. There's not current plans for that. There's not current plans for that. So there was a cloth map for the previous one. But this time the All-In Deluxe is going to include a folded paper map. I think if we include the a cloth map in it, it's no longer just books at that point. I think that would qualify as like merchandise and other things. So I want to be careful about mixing wires. Cinder Sedge also asks, actually let's just go so you guys can see. Let's just pull these in. You guys can see that, right? Are there going to be any more stretch goals? I guess I could just drag this here. There we go. Are there going to be more stretch goals in between 600,000 and a million? And what did you know it? Yes. So actually, 2 days. Thursday while I was on my trip, I did a stream and we came up with some more stretch goals. So let's go through some of the stretch goals, guys. Let's go through some of the stretch goals. Babe, wait, wake up. It's stream time. Okay, so let's see. So we unlocked Bastions, we unlocked Titans, we unlocked Dungeoning rules, and then we unlocked the solo rules and skill challenges and double dice. So Daniel and Joe have been working a lot. They're really putting a lot of effort into these solo rules. We've been cooking on them for a while. They're doing a fantastic job. So those are coming. I'm really excited about that, and it seems like the community is very excited about that. So at 700, we've already unlocked a digital art book. Some people were asking for like digital art books so they can like crop the images and use them for backgrounds and all this sort of stuff and do stuff with the images. So yeah, I'm going to include a digital art book in all the pledge tiers. What's next? What are we? Well, let's see. What are we $2,000 away from hitting right now? Let's see. Let's refresh. Yeah. What are we $2,000 away from hitting right now? Let's take a look at the next stretch goal. And I think I'm going to move the stretch goals back to the top of the page since we added some more. At 750, I'd like to include a companion builder. I think that would be cool. Is you with companions and just a little bit of guidance with like how to make your own companions. It's not going to be super hard, but it is nice to have some like the background information about how to do different things with it. Yeah, so we're going to do a companion builder and a wood slipcase upgrade. So this is like I'm not 100% sure we can do this. I did meet with the manufacturer while I was at Gamma. And he said that yes, they could totally do a wooden slipcase, but like there's a few things that they need to source the wood and they need to do different things. But I did do a mock-up. I was so excited about it this morning that I did do a mock-up of it. So this is just a mock-up. It's just a mock-up, guys. This is just a mock-up, but this is this what I'm expecting, what I'm planning on it looking like something like this. If we do it, and again, it's not all the other stretch goals are like, yeah, we can do this. But this is something where I'm not 100% sure we can. Ooh. Okay, sorry. So like a cool like mahogany or like something, some kind of like cool wood, maybe stained, maybe not. I don't know. Have some cool logo on the side with so we have the Creator's Kit, hardback special edition version of the Creator's Kit. We have all the adventures with all their extra handouts and cool stuff. We have the heroes with all the zines inside of one box. We have the Game Master's Guide. We have the cool rules, and then we have the Monsters and More book. So all inside this really cool slipcase, and then here's a preview of some. If you guys haven't seen, here's a preview of some of the art. These are very very early rough sketches. So when Earl is doing the art, he'll like have one document with like 4 or 6 different images, and he'll just sketch them real quick. And I have taken one of those and like blown it up and mocked it up on the thing. So like it's gonna be way better. These are just super duper early rough sketches, but it's going to be this kind of thing. So like no logos, no type or anything like this. You see Nimble here. It's not going to be there. Like it's not going to be printed there. It'll just be debossed. So like really subtle on it. So like you can see it at certain angles, but yeah, it's gonna be pretty sweet. So this is the dragon. This is the dragon from the front from the cover of the book. So this is the same dragon right here, but like in this cool special art. And then we have the same manticore from the core rules book. The same manticore from the main art is here. So like like we're taking the same kind of vibes, and it's going to be the same for the rest of them, I think. And one change that we are doing also, the GM guide, the art on the GM guide is going to be redone. So it's a beautiful piece by Justin Gerard, but I'm going to swap this art so that all the covers are by the same artist, so that they just feel a little bit more cohesive. So anybody getting the GM guide is going to get that for free. Yeah, I'm really excited about this, about the special edition slipcase. I think this is gonna be super sweet. So again, not final, but this is just sort of the initial mock-up. I'm thinking about ways to make it easy to pull the books out. Maybe there's like a tab or something where you can and like grab the books, or some slipcases, instead of being like flat at the edge, they'll sort of be indented, so you can like reach in and grab books. Or you can have, since the slipcase will usually be facing with like this part facing you on the bookshelf, you can have like a little thing on the back to where you can like push a book out and grab it. So there's a few different ideas, and I reached out to the manufacturer to see what ideas they have. Oh wow. uh, okay. Agile Monk, thank you so much. You definitely don't have to donate, but I appreciate that. It was reading the thing to me, and I don't think you guys heard that. Congratulations, Evan. You're truly rocking it. You deserve this for all you've done for this hobby, and thank you so much, man. I really appreciate that, Agile Monk. Thank you for coming and hanging out. It's more than enough already. You guys just hanging out um, and sharing it with friends and playing it, and like thank you guys. Very nice of you to do that, Agile Monk. Um, okay, so it looked like there's a couple of questions about this. Companion builder would be great, yes. So will the wooden slipcase increase shipping costs at all? No, it should not. So it shouldn't do anything to the shipping cost, since like the books themselves are like, they're made out of paper. They're made out of wood. So like they're heavy already, and like I already have the mock-ups and I've weighed them, and like we already know roughly what the cost is going to be. So like if it goes from like 6 pounds to 7 pounds, like the weight doesn't matter. But I think this isn't really going to appreciably change the weight of anything at all. So no, I'm not concerned about that at all. The shipping cost should still just be just fine. I haven't decided about the GM screen. What I think I might do, is so I think I might just include the GM screen inside the extras box, so that if you have the all-in pledge tier, like you still get it. It's just in this other box. So that'll make sense. And then people who have other pledge tiers, like they don't have to. They don't have to get the extras box and the GM screen. Like they can just get the extras box. So it's like a little extra freebie for them, and then everybody else, like you can still just get it separately if you want to. So I think I'm just going to the wrapping around the slipcase. That was a cool idea, but my thought was that like it might just be like a little bit too cute, like a little bit too much of like a gadget. And I like gadgety kind of stuff, but ultimately I want it to be like useful and beautiful. So I don't know that that's the most practical thing to do, because the GM screen is like the thing that I'm going to take with me while I'm GMing. So like all of the stuff in this is like intended to be the thing that you take with you. So I think it makes sense to do that, and it'll be a nice little freebie for anybody who already has the extras box. And then if you already added the GM screen, you can like remove it or whatever. Like I think that'll be easy to fix. Looks great. All right, glad you guys like it. Quality wood items like that. So since the books are relatively small, so like having a like a really big like D&D size book I got Shadows of the Weird Wizard. So the thing with the thing with wood, like getting a panel this wide, it's like it's not the easiest. Like long panels are easy, but long like this long and this wide is it can be a bit challenging. But if instead it is like if instead it's this size, like that's just a few inches, but like this like this is much easier to source like something that is that wide and narrower or shorter. So the size of the books make it actually fairly easy to do because like you can have like one tree might have like only a couple of planks that are like this wide, right? But it'll have like 12 planks that are like this wide. So it's just a weird thing how trees. I don't need to get into the production of wood stuff, but I think it'll be okay. It'll be okay. I'm using I'm definitely not using the cheapest manufacturer. I'm using a really good quality manufacturer, and I'll make sure we get samples and previews and all that sort of stuff to make sure that it's super duper good. So no, the wood, so like the initial idea was that the slipcase would fold out and do all this stuff. But then we sort of shifted to, after feedback, we shifted to just being a static slipcase and maybe having like the GM screen wrap around, but that was sort of tentative. So all the components are still going to be there, but like the final shape, it's all a little bit work in progress. I'm trying to make it as good as possible and not just gimmicky. I want it to be something that'll last and be really cool. Walnut is classy, yeah. So like I don't want like something like real light, like pine or something. But something like that'll have like a cool natural patina and will age nicely, you know. Will be a Zoom screen as a slipcase. Yeah, I'm still thinking about some of the details, but yeah, we'll see. The Adventures and Heroes. So there's a lot of adventures, so the heroes, yes. So the heroes. So if I just grab 15 zines, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so like 15 zines is this thick, and then there's gonna be some extras. So yeah, it's gonna be good thickness, and like you can save a little bit of space by like turning half of them this way and half of them that way, but still like that is it's a lot of the heroes themselves are like going to be roughly twice as big as the original Heroes book, maybe 3 times as thick as the Heroes book. So there's a lot of new content, and the adventures, yeah, the adventures are going to be a little bit smaller. So if I grab 10 adventures, this is roughly 10, I think. So the adventures are going to be 1, 2, 3. The adventures are going to be like roughly that thick. Yeah, it's going to be roughly that thick, and there's going to be some extras in the adventures box too. But I would like to have a little bit of extra space for like more adventures if you want to stick them in there too. Yeah, well-made hard. Yeah, like if you're making like 2 or 20, yeah. But if you're making like 2,000, then like you can crank them out. So we'll see. I'm still waiting on some of the details, so it's not a done deal, but I think it would be cool if we could pull it off. Any chance you saw the pirate board Kickstarter that just arrived? Oh, I went to the pirate board pirate ship itself in Louisville, and they gave me a pirate board book. I've sort of just like flipped through it briefly, but like look how cool this is. Ancient relics, lots of cool stuff there. Yeah, we'll have to check it out more. The dice were big and chunky. Yeah, I saw their dice. I really liked it. We were talking about that. They have the cool D4. And they even had a D2, I think, and big chunky dice. I really like that. It will not increase the weight and postage a lot. Yeah, okay. Yep. Yeah. So if you need like wide, clear panels, expensive. But if you just need like really relatively narrow panels, then it's much more. So like if you have a piece of lumber that's this big, and then you say, actually, I need that like twice as wide. It's going to cost way more than twice as much. I think it's at least it's a lot hard. Again, I don't need to get into all the details, but anyway. Twyla? What is Twyla from? Is Twyla a thing? Yeah. Thanks for hanging out. Yeah, a lot of the monsters are like pretty much all the monsters are gonna have lore and quotes and quest hooks and lots of different things. So yeah, it's gonna be a much more well fleshed out than it was previously. Okay, so let's that was the first question, or that was the second question. Oh no, we didn't even finish answering the second question. Stretch goals. Okay, so companion. Oh, you guys can't see this. A companion builder and wood slipcase upgrade. That's what that is. At 800,000, a random monster generator, like different tables, or it could be like roll a d4, roll a d6, roll one of each of these, 3 or 4 different dice, and then this monster is positively disposed toward you, and this is what kind of monster it is, and blah blah, like all of this. This is a fey creature, and he's angry, but he could be convinced, and then he's this and this and this, or there's this many of them. So like just a thing where you can like roll some dice and like you have like this new unique encounter, or at least ideas to run with. So I think that kind of thing would be pretty sweet. Or maybe it's like it has this ability, or like this kind of thing, like just inspiration to where you can like roll some dice and get some cool inspiration. Has to do with standard cuts and non-standard cuts. Twilight meaning twilight or woven of double thread. Perfect for a witch. Okay. Yeah, possibly in the future. Possibly in the future. Fearless. Okay, so we've got random monster generator. Then we have a 10 more heroic ancestries. I think would be cool. And then a lot of people keep asking about black powder weapons like guns and cannons and pistols and things. I think that could be cool. So we have that at 850. At 900, we have more secret spells and secret martial techniques. So just like oh, I don't have my books anymore. At Gamma, I gave my books to Spencer Stark. I met him. He's a super nice guy. I'll have to. I think I have an extra copy around here somewhere. So yeah, I gave him my copies of the books. I was gonna pull up the thing. Yeah, so just like, just pretend I have the book open. Just like the spellcasters, they have like utility spells. They can like interesting things they can do out of combat. I think it would be cool for, and they have secret spells also in the GM guide. I think it would be cool for martial classes to have the same kinds of things. Like what are some unique things that martial classes could do? What are some cool, unique techniques they could do? What are like broken abilities that a martial master could teach you that are too dangerous to have default in the book? I think that could be cool. Or maybe just like there's wands that have like charges, you can use this ability so many times. What if there was like a sword that you could do this special technique X number of times before it has to do, something else to recharge? I think that kind of thing would be really, really rad. And of course, these would be GM facing, optional, like not power creep, but just like optional, cool, fun things, rewards or whatever. And then we have 950, build a mimic chart. I think that's going to be fun. Monster More book will gain handy charts to build your own mimics. Apples, toothbrushes, chairs, pants. Anything could be a mimic if you want. Okay, yeah. So those are the new stretch goals. And people were showing concern about scope creep and things taking too long. No, I'm very careful to. I've been very careful to only select things or consider things that are well within my wheelhouse and I can accomplish in a relatively short period of time, or without any additional design time. I'm doing the bulk of it alone, but I mean, like, I've got the team of like the entire community that has been extremely helpful. I've got like artists that I'm working with, so I'm like, so Nimble Co is me, but like the Nimble the game is like me and like 5,000 other people. So I've got Ross, who's super great with playtesting and like cool ideas, and Matt, Double King here, who have been coming up with some new subclass ideas and doing lots of other things in the design jams, and like so. It depends on it depends on what you mean by that. I don't know. It's possibly, possibly. Might be the next thing. All right. So will you be including a solo play guide slash adventures so Nimble can be enjoyed alone? Yeah, yeah. So that is definitely one of the things. We unlocked that stretch goal. So it's not going to be a solo adventure per se, but the adventure is like there's charts for the adventure. So you go roll and then you discover what the adventure is like as you go, right? So there'll be prompts and things for that kind of stuff. And I think I can do this a little bit better this way. There we go. You guys can still see that, right? Question was asked in the live stream as well, but didn't get answered. Why does the digital core plus expansion come with the digital extras, but the more expensive physical? Yep. Yeah, great question. So let's go over here. So initially, none of the tiers except for the all-in, because all-in is all-in. So initially, none of the tiers were going to have the digital extras. It's just extras. Like if you want them, you can get them, but like I'm excluding them. So just the people who want them get them. So like a lot of times I'll go to the store and it'll be like, buy 2, get 1 free. Like, I only wanted 1. So I just won't get it. It's like if I don't get, if I don't get 2, I feel like I'm missing out. So a lot of people like they don't want extras that they're not going to use because it sort of feels bad. So I wanted those to be just available just for the people who wanted them. But as I was putting together the pledge tiers, I accidentally included the digital extras with the core plus expansion digital tier. And then like someone already backed it, and like you can't change a tier once someone has already backed that tier. So all right, I just added it, and then people notice that like, oh, well, why isn't this core plus expansion one have it too? I was like, that's right, that's why. So I just went in and added it to both, just to be fair. So just a mistake, just a mistake. It was very counterintuitive. You are right, Per. Can you give us a general rundown of what topics are covered in the Creators Kit? Yeah, I definitely can. And it's going to be expanded just a bit. Yeah, maybe we'll have Christian. So we mentioned next. Pretty sure we want Evan's version of Nimble in Space. Yeah, maybe we'll vote on it. I'd like it to be like something a little bit smaller, just a little bit smaller in scope. But like if a lot of people are super interested in like a sci-fi version of it, then maybe we could do that. If there's more people interested in like the kids version or like the newbie version, then we could do that. Or maybe something else. Maybe it's going to be the card game of it. We'll see. And actually, I think I can just pull up the Creators Kit on the screen so that you guys can see it too. Let me see if I can do that. Yeah, we could do that. Starfinder, is that the Pathfinder version of sci-fi stuff? Do you plan on adding solo rules inside them? Yes, solo rules are going to be inside the Monsters of More book. That is the current plan. Separate zine might be more convenient. Maybe. The current plan is to have it taken up like 8 pages inside the book. Okay, so let's go to here. So what, can you give us a rundown of what's in the Creators Kit? And this is free online. You can download it today for free. I think it's nimblerpg.com/start, I think is where you can get it. So there's a third-party license. This has been updated and expanded to be a little bit more generous. So one, avoid fiddliness. You're designing a TT, a tabletop RPG, so you can't have a bunch of different steps or a bunch of things that you have to remember. Can you make the calculations easier? Can you do things in fewer steps? Conditions, like you don't want to be tracking a whole bunch of conditions. You want to maintain the flow. You don't want a lot of things interrupting the flow. Your GM, you move a monster, everybody makes opportunity attacks, because why not? What's the worst offender for breaking flow? Any mechanic that requires information from another player before proceeding, like other D20 fantasy games, rolling to hit versus AC. Like, I want to attack you. Okay, so I have to do this, and then I have to wait on you. And then you tell me something, then you have to wait on me. And then everybody else has to wait on the GM. So like, that kind of stuff. So things that interrupt flow should be both important and rare, or at least asynchronous. How to word different spells, both for balance and clarity, as well as how quickly they are able to be played. How to design classes, like what you get at different levels. This is sort of the framework here. About resting, hoarding, and going Nova, just different fun things that are fun or unfun to play. Lane protection, like don't step on the toes of other classes, why that's important. Retraining, multiclassing, clear and concise rules. Avoid overly wordy explanations. Like you should not write with rules lawyers primarily in mind. Like you shouldn't make things easy to like be misunderstood or easy for rules lawyers to break. But you should prioritize clear, concise writing above that. Average hero stats, just so you can know like some of the combat math behind the scenes. Designing monsters, lots of different things about monsters roles, how to design it so that the GM knows what to do. Different knobs you can use for monster attacks, what to avoid, like monsters that heal or monsters that kite. Examples of different stat blocks, so you can see like some of these things practically speaking. Cool art by Earl and other artists. Helpful GM guidance for legendary monsters, no, just for regular monsters. And then here we have legendary monsters, and I'll go quickly. Magical items, what are cool things you can have in magical items? Is this an item that you should be able to find or be able to buy? Strictly better, strictly worse, so it shouldn't just be a flat power boost, and why. Spell frameworks, how spells work if you want to make your own spells. The difference between like a 5e spell and then like the Nimble version of that same spell. Like just how to word things. Adventure framework, how to build your own adventures. And then trade dress stuff, like the size of the book, the layout, and the fonts, and why I use those fonts and not other fonts, and how much art costs. And then some final thoughts. So there you go. That is the Creator's Kit. Hope that was helpful. What's the biggest surprise for you on this creator journey so far? That I'm on this journey at all. I was just telling someone earlier today that I was telling him that I distinctly remember telling myself like, man, there are too many RPGs. Like I would never make my own RPG. Like that is such a stupid thing to do. So I never would have thought that I would be here. But just being volunteered to like keep going by people and people appreciating it. I think that's a really cool thing. But just being here at all is the biggest surprise. Apart from simply creating, testing, evaluating, iterating, learn by doing things. Are there any solid pieces of advice for improving as a RPG designer? Any books, blogs, resources that are great reads or experiential learning stories that you have to share? Like aside from simply creating, testing, evaluating, I like to read books that are like just not game related, just like business books or wisdom books or just anything like that. Anything you do to learn like how people work and how people think, like books on persuasion and books on communication, like that kind of stuff, I think is really helpful. The Alexandrian is a great blog. I mean, YouTube is just a fantastic resource. Like any YouTuber that says, here's how to fix adventures, or here's how to fix this class, or here's like, you might not agree with all of it, but like it's gonna have some good insight there. You better believe it. Yeah, so like a lot of these YouTubers, like they have gotten big because like they have really good advice. So yeah, I would definitely start there. When I was starting on my DM journey, playing D&D for the first time after our other DM moved out of town, I watched a lot of YouTube videos, and that helped. But yeah, just make stuff and send it to people. Don't hold your ideas too preciously because people will tell you what they think. and 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 if one person tells you this thing stinks, like all right, fine. Like, but if like two or three or four people like, yeah, you should really think about this. You should really think about that. So a lot of people will have just like one idea in their head and then like no, like I know this is good. This is how people can like go on American Idol and they can't sing and everybody else knows they can't sing, but like they don't like don't you dare tell me I can't sing, right? So yeah, you gotta listen to feedback. What's your favorite class, subclass, ancestry, background, and monster? Ooh. Um, let's see. That's yeah. I'm doing something with Steven Glicker. Uh, really cool guy. Yeah, let's open up. I don't think I'll be able to choose. Is the short answer. Um, okay, so Berserker Commander. Probably the cheat. The cheat is like just cool. Like being able to change your dice feels so rad. Chat like all right, I'm gonna just go through and talk about all the classes. So like Berserker, like being able to like build up like a ton of these rage dice and just like get angry and hit stuff super hard is just so much fun. And then like whirlwinding, like there's not a whole lot more fun than that. I used to play Diablo 2 like all the time, and like I would be the barbarian and just like that. It's just so fun. The cheat, like, oh, come on, you can change your dice, you can cheat, like that just feels so good. The commander, this is the person who likes to like shine the spotlight on their friends, and that feels good in a like particularly cool way. Like they don't really have their own cool moments, like they make cool moments for us. I really like that about the commander. The hunter, like having like this cool resource to like it's sort of like they're doing sort of a dance, like in and out of combat and doing different things. I really like that. I really like that the hunter doesn't have any magic. I think that them just being a hunter, just like a dude with a bow and like really survivalist, like really smart. Like I think that's cool. The mage, like you just got a ton of cool spells. You can just like throw like lob fire and lightning and like so like the sorcerer wizard and the rogue were like my favorite classes in D&D. So like that they just that holds a really special place in my heart. Um, Oathsworn is really cool. So anytime like I'll just tell you guys how sappy I am. Like like when I was designing the Oathsworn, like thinking about this like sort of like got me choked up. Like my life for my friends. Reminds me of the scripture where Jesus says, no greater love can has any man than this, than he laid down his life for his friends. Um, so like that's someone who's like, yes, I will protect my friends, over my dead body while you hurt my friends, like that kind of thing. That is the definition of heroic, right? That is a hero, someone who does that. So that is like this was one of the first ideas I had as I was developing the mechanics and the classes and stuff. The Oathsworn was one of the very first classes. I really wanted to get that one right, very very badly. So I love that about this class, that they can do that. Like that's something special. Nobody else can do that. Shadowmancer, I love that they're just like creepy and sort of jerks. um, and I forget his name, but the writer who helped me write this, like I love the story here. And if you guys want to click on like the older videos on the Nimble YouTube channel, I voiced over I voiced over this. Let's just pull it up. Let's pull it up real quick because that was one of my favorite things. Let me see if I can pull it up. So I did a couple of I think I did three videos where I was like, meet the classes, Let me see if I can show you guys. And the commander is like a little bit melodramatic. And the cheat is rad. All right, so let's Let's see if we can. All right, let's see. You guys tell me if you can hear this. Great power sometimes comes from horrible places. I can't even hear it. Why can't I hear it? Are my headphones on? But what's the alternative? Oh, there we go. Great power sometimes comes from horrible places. But what's the alternative? Honestly, spend our entire lives studying? Now that's horrible. Who'd want to waste their entire life reading books, learning magic the hard way, when you're charismatic enough to just ask an ancient horror beyond comprehension to do it for you? If there's power being handed out, who am I to be picky? It'd be ungrateful. Yeah, so like I made a couple of videos like sort of introducing the different classes. And I really like this one. I actually hired like a legit voice actress to do this one. Let me show you the cheat one. You guys can watch these later if you want to.
Need someone to start talking or stop talking? I'm your girl. If you need a guy to suddenly fall ill, or maybe a quick blade slip between the plates of someone's armor, so to speak, I'll give you a great price. Oh, you know someone who's got heavy bags that need lightning? All right, let's talk. I can be in and out before they even know what hit them.
Yeah, so I made some of those videos like that. So I really like those. I really like those. So I think those are really fun to do. And I think I have the audio. I already have the voiceovers that I just never used for Berserker and Mage. I like an old guy who talks like this, and there's a really gruff, really angry, gravelly voice dude. Yeah, so maybe I'll keep working on those. So yeah, we were talking about my favorite classes though. Let's see. Okay, so there's the Shadowmancer. Shadowmancer, he's just good. He's just good old fun. I like how the shepherd has like this cool pet that just follows you faithfully. It can't take damage. It's just a good old boy. You just got this amazing little pet, and the pet it follows you around and he helps you out and do things, and he just loves you so much. I think that's so cool. I think that's so cool. The Songweaver he's just good times with that, and I love where Vicious Mockery ended up. Because instead of like, oh, they have disadvantage on their stack, no, they're taunted. So like you're mocking them, and then that taunts you. Once that idea came together, I think that was really cool. That was a really cool thing. Yeah, that was really cool once that came together, and it just felt good. And like it doesn't deal a lot of damage, but it does ignore armor, and it gains damage every few levels. But like that, it taunts, I think is cool. And then also, where is it? Not my beautiful face. Oh, that's so fun. Oh wait. One of my favorite things from Mage. Let me tell you guys. The control table was inspired by Imrakul from Magic the Gathering. I think it's Imrakul: The Promised End. Yeah, I don't know if you guys can see it very well. Let me see if I can. So, to go back to the question that was asked earlier, like, just always have like your notebook ready, and just like be ready to like write down inspiration wherever you find it. So like I was not planning on like getting an idea like reading this, but like an idea just came. And I was just watching some YouTube video earlier today, and like I had like 2 or 3 ideas just from watching that video. So this says, when you cast Emrakul, you gain control of target opponent during that player's next turn. After that turn, that player takes another extra turn. So from that, I got the idea for the control table. Like, oh yeah, what if you could do like these cool things, but then the GM takes control of you, right? That kind of thing is really, really cool. The storm shifter is cool. I really like that the storm shifter, you don't have to like sort through like 1,000 different you don't have to sort through like, all the whole monster manual to find all the beasts. So that like, oh, I'm gonna change into this beast because like everybody always changes into like the best one. Instead of that, you can flavor it however you want, and then like here's the different abilities that you have. I really, really like that. I really like that. And then the Zephyr being like an actually good monk, I think is sweet. Like a really like substantially powerful dude who he can just use all melee weapons. So he has weakness at range, but he's just so fast. He can get up and do stuff. And then my buddy, when we were playing D&D, he had this like he loved jumping on dudes' backs. He had a monk. And that this was like this was inspired by him always doing that. I thought that was super duper cool. My favorite monster is probably the kobolds. Not that they're like the best monster group. I mean, big surprise. Probably the kobolds. They remind me of Fast and the Furious guys, like when you're here, your family, like that kind of thing. The kobolds, when one of them dies, they say no, and then like all the others like they start attacking you. To me, that's way more interesting than pack tactics. Like, oh, like my bud's standing next to you, so I just attack with advantage or whatever it is. I don't even remember if that's what it is anymore. But like the fact that like they get mad at you, like when you kill one of their guys, like it's really cute and endearing, and super fun. So like separating the kobolds and goblins that way, like goblins, they don't really care if they die or if one another die, they just want laughs. So like they will like jump in and out of combat to try to get you to make opportunity attacks because they're more likely to be able to laugh at you when you miss. But kobolds, like they stick together and like their family and that kind of stuff. I think that's super 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 fun. Agile Monk, hey, thank you so much for the 4.99. Again, you don't have to do that. I mean, I really appreciate it, but you don't have to do that. We're all just hanging out. Well, I own all the current Nimble products and have purchased for family and so on all in deluxe. All right. Agile Monks gives this 5 stars. Thank you so much. Thank you for the support. I really do appreciate it. How cool. How cool. We did it, everybody. We made 1 million Canadian. Yeah, we're hitting 1 million in lots of different currencies. Yeah. Thank you so much, Matt. Or Matthew, apologies. Yeah, you like the class introductions? Yeah, I do like that. Yeah. Check out the videos. The commander is like, she's so very melodramatic. Maybe a little bit melodramatic. I backed a physical expansion level because I backed the physical course of previous crowdfund. Okay, how do I get the box that would include all of it? So if you get the physical expansion, so if you just select this tier, this pledge tier, this is for returning backers, and this has just the new stuff and not any of the stuff that you already purchased. So if you just click that one, then you get it. The only thing this doesn't include is the extras box. So if you go down here or up here where the extras box is, so if you get that and the extras box, then you have everything, I think. Yeah, yep. So if you do that, then you'll have everything. I hope that answers your question. Yeah. I watched all of Matt Colville's like running the game videos. He was a big inspiration. I don't think I've ever seen anything by Perkins. But yeah, watching some of Matt Mercer's stuff, I've watched some of that. I learned a lot more about DMing from Brennan Lee Mulligan, and from his talks also, like when he's just talking about DMing. I think you're gonna learn a lot from that. Yeah. Well, what are you planning? Just like stuff related to the new stuff, like Titan, how to do Titans and how to do companions, like that kind of stuff. But I will definitely open it up for suggestions. I'll keep it in mind. I've heard from people that sci-fi does not quite as good as fantasy RPGs. But we'll see. We'll see. I mean, I like Knights of the Old Republic was like one of my favorite video games. But that's not like I don't really like the super brutal, like dour, like dystopian sci-fi stuff. I kind of prefer like more like Star Wars type of sci-fi. You're okay, interesting. I don't know too much about Pathfinder, and I know even less about Starfinder. Possibly, it is difficult to have a bunch of different SKUs. It just makes it logistically hard. Um, so right now, the only way to get the cards is going to be with Extra Box. But I'm trying to make it very much worth it. So, I just being me, it is hard for me to release a ton of like different tiny little things. Do the core books reprint include any errata? Yes, yes, it is. So and I could just show you. So the core books, it includes errata, but it also includes like cool like updates to the design and layout and stuff. So there's a couple of typos and things, but just having this is what I was showing people a couple of days ago. So like just having so like in the initial version, we have like big splash page of art, and then like the 4 stats sort of crammed together, and then like some of the skills and the rest of the skills are down here. So I have since gotten a little bit better at layout. So like now, like the core rules, like the stats, they have their own space to breathe because they're very, very important, and they're all called out in this different ways. And then all 10 of the skills are here on one page, right? And then there's nothing is bleeding over to the next spread. So just different little improvements like that are throughout. Wording updates and clarifications as well. So like that kind of stuff. So yeah, so there's some errata and updates, like quality of life updates too. It's like you can see here, just for clarity, like it's a minor thing, but it's stuff that I think about. So when making saves, each hero has 1 advantage save plus and 1 disadvantage save minus. Okay, that makes sense. But when you look at the where is it? When you look at the character sheet, where's the character sheet? Here it is. When you look at the character sheet, it wasn't a plus or a minus, it was an up arrow and a down arrow, right? So in the new version, we have each hero has 1 advantage save, up arrow, and 1 disadvantage save, down arrow. So like doing things like that just to make it more consistent. So are the rules changing? No. So the books that you have currently are just as good as they were. But just that kind of cohesion and clarity, I'm sort of taking that kind of care and giving everything a once over. And I think I've improved the character sheet. There's a draft of it. So we've got icons of the different things so that you can easily, like when your int goes up, you can immediately like see, oh, these 3 skills go up, right? Or when your will goes up, these 4 skills go up. And I can see the value of strength because strength does this, and might and hit dice. Oh, okay, because when you roll your hit dice, your strength matters. So before this, strength, it only does this, right? And I might even make the equipment slots red here so that like strength controls just this and that. So and then Dex includes initiative as well. It usually includes defense, but it depends on what kind of armor you're wearing, so I didn't include that. So I'm doing that kind of stuff to make it make more sense at a glance. And I love having icons for things. So there are sort of small quality of life improvements like that are being made. Do I check my pledge for the add-on labeled Zine Bundle? Are the ADV and hero zines printed up? So yeah, everything is printed individually. So the mock-up is, so initially it was going to be inside of like a some sort of like tuck box or something. Like if you think of like a pack of playing cards, so like they're going to be all zines individually. That they're going to be every time someone gets a donation. Thank you so much for the donation. I'll check that in a second. But it plays in my ear. So it was originally going to be just zines inside of like a little tuck box or some sort of thing. But once we moved to once I decided to just put everything in a box, like a core box set. So it's not going to be a box in a box in a box. It's just going to be the zines, like all the different books are going to be in here. But if you do the add-on, I think it'll just be shrink wrapped together. Warband, that's cool. Hey, Ira Zen, thank you so much for coming. And thank you for that. Yeah, he's a really cool guy. Knows a lot. Real smart guy too. So. Yeah, so there's a framework for like making spells and making them balanced in the Creator's Kit if you want to check that out. All right, let's keep going. Will the core books fit into the box for the new content? So if you're getting just the expansion, no, because like it's gonna be like that thick, and like I would hate like if I would hate to have just like an extra big box, but you can put like. So think about it like this. So I have, this is the old school essentials, classic fantasy, and advanced expansion set. So it is very much. Let's go to the. It's very much like this kind of situation, right? So there are two. Why is one? Oh, there we go. I just had one backwards. So like they go together. They go together on your shelf nicely like that. So rather than like, oh, the expansion set, like it's extra big, it's twice as thick, so you can fit these books in. No, they're just both sort of sized to fit the books that they go in, but they should be like matching so that they at least like look nice on your shelf together. Oh, nice. Thank you. Hey, good to see you, Derek. Thanks for hanging out, man. Thanks for doing my job for me at Gamma. I don't think I did anything for you at Gamma, but it was nice to meet you, man. It was great to meet you. Nothing brought a bigger smile to my face when the hunter in my group managed to get advantage and pump the numbers on his crit on his game to tell him he ate it. Nice. So if I pledge the expansion physical tier, I get the new subclasses. Yes. Yep. So there's going to be a zine with just the new subclasses for the core heroes if you get this. So yes, this is all the new content if you already have the core stuff. All right, let's keep. Yeah. Oh, all right. Thank you so much, Dungeons and Dyslexia. Taxes should not be too crazy. We actually have a really good fulfillment center right there in the UK, so it might be cheap. It'll be cheaper for you than for most. I'll say that. Thank you so much for your very kind video, by the way. I watched both of them. Yeah, and I subscribe to both the channels. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Okay, let's keep going down the questions. Favorite ancestry? Humans. No, probably the favorite ancestry is probably the either Bun Bun, because we have a pet rabbit, and her name is Bun Bun, or the Stoatling, because the mechanic for the Stoatling is just really fun. But about the ancestries, my favorite part about the ancestries is how different I think it's gnomes and dwarves. They speak Dwarvish, but like the gnomes call it Gnomish and the dwarves call it Dwarvish. And like the orcs and goblins, they speak the same language, but the goblins there's like the little note that like you goblins, you speak Orcish, but you call it goblin, of course. So that kind of thing is fun. Favorite monster? Oh, we already did that. Okay, favorite background is probably the back out of retirement. Easy. What's your favorite TTRPG monster? Yep, kobolds. Kobolds are fantastic. How do you come up with good drawbacks for things like magic items or certain class abilities? Oh, good question, Rayford. I don't know. So actually, here I'll show you this. Give me 1 second. All right, so pulling up. So I generally just start with a fantasy. I guess I didn't have to pull it up. I could have just gone to InDesign. So I generally start with a fantasy. So what would make sense? So let's go to, like for instance, turtle folk. Like, okay, Evan, make turtle folk. Well, what should they have? A bunch of armor. What should be their drawback? They should be slow. Right? So that like a lot of times like it just sort of it kind of designs itself, you know. Stoatlings, like what are stoats and weasels and mongooses? What are they known for? Like attacking like bigger animals and messing them up, right? So they're small but ferocious. So that kind of thing. So I will generally start with like what the fantasy is. Yeah, and then I'll go from there. So like this is a benefit and a drawback. This is a benefit and a drawback, right? So if you're small but ferocious, like yeah, you deal more damage. But if you're small and then like the big thing steps on you, like yeah, they're gonna deal you more damage. So I try to make it make sense. I think that's the coolest part of these kinds of games where like you can have the mechanics like, oh, I see exactly why that makes sense and that feels correct, right? Have you considered making ancestry cards? That'd be cool. I don't know. That'd be a lot of art, though. That'd be expensive to do. Possibly in the future. Possibly in the future. I haven't really considered that. The ancestry is sort of like just a thing that goes in your character sheet, and like it's not something you really need to remember. So, like for the turtle folk, I wouldn't really need a card of that often. But it would be cool, maybe like as I'm flipping through, as I'm making a character, like flip through all the different cards and see the art and be inspired. That could be cool. I'd rather have the cards like actually do something. Like I have this card and this is a potion. Like as long as I have this, I have the potion. And when I drink the potion, I give the card back to the GM. Like I want the cards to do something. Do you have the complete box and have convinced my girlfriend into? Oh yeah, yes. That will be everything. That will be everything. Yes, I believe so. I mean, like apart from like the deluxe covers and like the extras, like the minor little extras in the deluxe set. But yes, yeah, that's all the content. Cool. Thank you so much for backing it. Derek, I'm trying, man. I'm trying. You and me, we'll design one. we'll design it. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for covering it. I really appreciate it. I was really honored. You guys talking about it. All right, let's check out some more. Let's check out some more of these questions. All right. How would you go about making hags in Nimble? It's coming soon, hopefully. Coming soon. So my process, I would like what can I do to figure out like the core flavor of this? Like why is a hag different than a giant? Not just the size, but like other things. Like why is a hag different than a fire elemental? Like what is the quintessential thing about the hag? What is the quintessential thing about the goblin? Right? I'll think about that and I'll start there. You got to cast some spells. She's got to be super duper evil. And if I have art or something and the art is like doing something cool, then I might be inspired by the art. Let me see. I might have some hag notes already. HAG. Nothing too useful yet. But yeah, we'll be designing hags here soon enough. So we'll have to come back to that one. Part says he's missing procedures rules for other conflicts than common and nimble. Yeah. So we're going to be doing a lot of that stuff. So I don't think we need new rules. I think we just need like to show here's how you can here's how you can do that. So I think like with a skill challenge, like you're trying to convince the shopkeeper to lower the price by 5 gold. Okay, that's one rule. But you're what if you're talking to a noble and you want them to like change their opinion or change their course of action? That probably shouldn't be one rule. Maybe that's 2 rules. Like maybe 3. So like what does it look like other than just making an influence check? So like a skill challenge around like social encounters, a skill challenge around like going from this place to that place before like as you get to the adventure. Like if it's a short adventure, a short journey, like maybe you roll 1 die and that like if you do well, like you get a little bonus as you're going into the thing, and a little bit less. So there is gonna be frameworks for dungeon delving and like different things like that. So that is coming. So Nimble, as it was made, it was intended to be like a first step and not really like a complete thing. But this Kickstarter is filling in all those gaps that were there. So that's what this is. If you were to regard social conflicts on the same level as combat, how would you approach it? I don't think you can regard it on the same level as combat, because like there'd just be a lot of too many design considerations. But having it be more than just a single roll of a single skill would be great. Or like giving someone other than the bard the ability to interact profitably would be cool, So there are going to be some things like that coming soon. Fixed Diddy, hey! What's the hardest part you had to cut? I really want to include. Ooh, this is a good one, Aposhi. This is a really good question. What's the hardest part you had to cut? I don't know. I kind of think everything that we cut ended up being good. That's why I cut it. Like everything that we cut was good that it was cut. There was a lot of pushback going from 5 stats down to 4. It's like D&D starts with 6, and like nobody cared that we lost Constitution or rolled Constitution into Strength. But once we did, was it Intelligence and Charisma, combining those into Will, then people were like, ah. But no, that was the right call, and I even made a presentation and convinced people of that. So, no, yeah, I think this is no, I think all the cuts were good. Would you consider to simplify armor for monsters, as it could remove some of the math, since it could just be full damage or half damage? You wouldn't need to juggle this thing. You wouldn't need to juggle this things like this is medium armor, so damage, but without modifiers, or this is heavy armor, so damage. Yes, you could definitely do that. Like it would be trivial to homebrew that if you wanted to. So if you go up to the GM guide, so if you have if there's a legendary monster, if you have some monster and it has like 54 hit points, but like I don't want to mess with medium armor, just give him 68 hit points. So like here, so like some level 6 monster with medium armor, just give him 68 points. Like there it is. Like it's easy. Like you just take full damage down. So it flattens the tactics a bit, but it will save a little bit of. It's one less thing to think of. But I think what this question, so this kind of question has come up, a couple of times. I think that the group who does this is sort of fighting against the system rather than like playing with the system. So how I think about it is this. So A monster with no armor, you just roll the dice and add it up just like normal. A monster with medium armor, it's not, oh, this one has medium, now this extra thing you have to remember, you have to like unadd the thing. No, it's just, you just roll the dice and just that's it. So it's, rather than an additional step, it's one fewer steps. So medium armor is actually faster than no armor, right? So that's why the mechanic is the way it is, because everybody should know that goblin has a shield, he has medium armor. And like, if someone has rolled their dice and has already started to add up their modifiers or whatever for this medium guy, like something has already gone wrong before you've gotten there. So make sure as a GM you are communicating that they understand this guy has medium armor, he ignores all of your modifiers. You don't add any, he takes just the dice, right? So make sure they know that. And then you can skip that step rather than doing the step and then having to undo it. So like it's 2 additional steps. So instead of 2 steps, it ends up being 3 steps or 4 steps, right? But in reality, you want it to be just 1. Instead of 2 steps, it's 1 step. But yes, Nimble is very resilient to tinkering. Like, it will not break anything if this guy with heavy armor just has medium or none. Like, it's not going to break anything. Give him a few more hit points. It'll be just fine. The point is to change how the monsters feel to fight. So for instance, let's just go. Let's go all the way up to level 20, just so we can just so we can sort of explain it. So this guy with 300 hit points versus this guy with like 100 and change. So if you wanted to increase survivability, you could just inflate the hit points. You give him 500 hit points, but that's a lot of math. That's a lot of adding. So like how it would feel. So let's take this guy with 313 hit points. So you're doing damage, so it's going to be very linear. So every turn you're doing some amount of damage. It's going to feel linear, right? So you're constantly making progress. But this guy with 189, it's going to feel like, oh, we're not doing any damage, and then boom, someone lands a crit. And like, whoa, we took out a huge chunk. Like, you took out a quarter of his life, or you took out a sizable chunk with 1 hit because you got through his armor. Like, so the intent is that it feels different to fight against, right? That's the intent. That's the whole point. So rather than like World of Warcraft, where like no matter what monster you're fighting, you just don't stand in the fire and you push these 3 buttons. Like, this is my rotation, right? When you have armor, that just ignores all your dice, like, well, my best attack at like my you have armor that ignores the modifiers. My best attack like has plus 20, so that attack isn't as good. So maybe I'll use some other attacks, or I'll use a different weapon that will be able to crit more often, or I'll assess so that I can like double my chance to crit, or I'll do other things. It changes my tactics, right? So that's the whole point of it. But if you wanted to homebrew it away, just ignore armor, you certainly could. It won't break anything. But this question indicates to me that you're fighting the system rather than like going the direction the system was intended to be ran. So it's intended to save time rather than add additional steps. Yep, but yeah, there are definitely different ways to do it, like bandits, and the Trask has different ways, or the Terraskew, Derek, has different ways to deal with the damage and stuff. Marcus, I love this game so much. Thanks for making it. Thank you, Marcus, for playing it. I felt a lack of what I consider standard arcane magic types. Type of magic: mage hand, mage armor, magic missile, prestidigitation. Check out the I'll just show you. So you check out some of the utility spells. So mage hand is this, helpful gust. There it is. And then kindle is minor illusion. So the most important ones I think are there. Magic missile is just like a damaging spell. And there's different spells that like don't miss and stuff. So those are there already, but not every spellcaster has access to all of them. So the utility spells are intended to be those things that like you could use them in combat, or you can use them out of combat for different reasons. So those are there. So I'd encourage you to check those out, Marcus. Close why classic wizards and sorcerers are combined into mage. That's a good question. I felt like that their lane, the wizard and then the wizard and the sorcerers, like their Venn diagram wasn't a circle, but there was so much overlap there that it was hard to distinguish the flavor of them. So just mage. And how do you distinguish this mage from that mage? Like the wizard feels to me like the mage, a control mage, and the sorcerer is a chaos mage. So like you can distinguish them by their subclasses. And then now there's going to be like 4 or 5 additional subclasses for the mage. So the mage, out of all the classes, has the most subclasses because like it's this one fantasy, but you can take it in different directions. So I think the subclass is what can help there. Oh, hey Marcus. All right, thanks for joining. I'm glad you could join. Mo, I know it's about to be some sci-fi Digimon stuff. Will Artificer and Scion be physically on sale? Not by themselves, probably. Eventually, yeah, probably. But I'm not sure exactly how that's gonna look. Thanks for hanging out, Mo. I love that you went from 5 to 4. Oh. What's the most surprising consequences of that? I don't think there really was one, because like the 6 different stats in D&D are not really that distinguished. They don't really have a lane. They don't have a clear lane. So maybe the most surprising thing was that like there weren't really any consequences of it. Like how often did you make an int save versus a charisma save, or a wisdom save versus a charisma save? Like it's basically the same thing. Briefly, but there was the great presentationing that combined all the forces. I think it's really cool. I think Taryn, he's a real smart guy, very cool designer. He's done some cool stuff with Vagabond. I've got my core rule book here. He did some cool stuff. The spell shaper abilities in for the mage are similar to that, but just his spell system is just built around that. So I think that's a cool way to do it. Yeah. Social conflicts are going to be like skill challenges, and there'll be some frameworks of like, here's some examples so that a GM can just run them on the fly without needing like new specific rules on how to do that. Yeah, I think that's on the list. Possibly there are there that is one of the stretch goals. Hang tight, Karovek. I'm working on with some people on different translations. But if you want, I use InDesign. It's a very complicated program, but there's other programs that you could potentially use. One round is 6 seconds. One round is 6 seconds. Each turn is also 6 seconds, but all the monsters and heroes are acting at the same time. So it's just one of those. So like, yeah, each turn is 6 seconds, but they're 6 seconds simultaneously, not 6 seconds consecutively, if that helps. So one round is 6 seconds, roughly. Like if something else makes more sense to you, then you definitely could. Probably not. No. All right, cool. Yeah, so the mage is going to have a subclass for fire specialty, lightning, and ice specialty. And then there's going to be one invoker of wards. And then maybe a 5th one that I'm cooking up. So they'll have 7 subclasses total. We'll see. Nimble seems very focused on battles. Could you provide more gameplay? Yeah, we definitely have that. Odin, Mush, is Kid Nimble on the horizon? Maybe. I do have kids, and they want to play. They want to help me play test that. My kid is almost 5, and I've taught her how to play Pokemon. Yeah, nice. She can't get enough. Awesome. My son's always asking me, "Hey, Dad, can we play some Magic? Can we play some Pokemon? Can we play some Nimble?" So yeah. Hopefully soon. Online tools from a mysterious person. Yes, there's I'd like to have a bunch of online tools for there's like a bunch of VTTs happening already, but online tools, I would love to just have like handy things that I as a GM could just look up real quick. What's the phrasing of that spell without having to go to the book and open it? That kind of thing. What kind of VTT assets are being made? The digital extras are going to include, it's going to include like the assets. So people have asked for just square things that they can turn into their own tokens if they want. But I'm planning on including at least token, pre-cropped and with a frame, like a border and stuff for the monsters that have art in the book. And then battle maps also, if you're using like a grid kind of thing, and like background art if you just sort of want vibes. Frumpy McJiggle. There are a bunch of different community-made character builders, but it's been hard finding a developer to do some of these things. But it's all in the works. Any official translations foreseen? Yes. More on that soon. I'm sorry your cat's sick. Awesome. Awesome. If any new content is going to be available to the patrons. Yeah. Probably, yeah. So I am still going to be releasing content on Patreon. So yeah, stay tuned there. I don't know how much of it or what, like all of that is a little bit up in the air. But yeah, don't worry about that. And I hope your cat feels better. So would it be possible to add an official FAQ section in the Nimble? There is a FAQ section, but yes, that is a goal that I have. The website that I have currently it's just not well suited for that kind of thing. So I'm trying to get like another site that can handle all of that. But each of the part of that is going to be handled like this, like we did for the hex binder, where the back of the thing has just a list of FAQ about the hex binder, so that you could just have it. Like, I don't care about the FAQ for the hex binder from playing a mage, but like she does, right? So it's going to be in there. So each of the hero zines, another reason to have them like separate, is so that like, oh, if I have a question, I'll just look at the back and it'll probably be there. But yes, I would love to have everything in one spot. First, I'd love, so before you even get to FAQ, hopefully the rules will be written in such a way that it's clear and it's not a frequently asked question. But if something does come up, then to have it in a spot that is easy to find. Yeah. Do you see yourself doing this for a long time? Yeah, I don't know. I'm enjoying it. I don't see myself getting burnt out or quitting anytime soon. I'll say it that way. I have a lot of future plans for Nimble. It's just a matter of prioritizing which is the next thing. Nimble was a 5e rules hack. It was. Then evolved to a full RPG. How does turning into a video game sound? That'd be cool. I mean, if Larian wants to reach out and talk, I'd make some time. I don't know. Like that's beyond what I can do. So someone else would have to do it. More classes? No. Ancestries, yes. Ancestries are relatively easy to do. Yeah, so a sci-fi version might have like much fewer classes. Probably. I don't know. I'd have to think about that. So any ideas for more classes for the fantasy Nimble? I don't think so. I don't think so. I feel like we have all the different archetypes that anybody could want, like pretty well covered. And anything not could be like a subclass, like a specialty there. Like you could be whatever you want to be. What's plans for Nimble going forward? Do you intend to create more content? And by the way, thank you so much for Matt. Everybody give put an M in chat for Matt, or you can put a DK in chat. DK for Double King for putting all this together. I really appreciate that. What's the plans for Nimble going forward? Do you intend to create more content? Oh yeah. I do want to let the community really take the reins and keep doing stuff. Absolutely, I want to encourage people to do that. Well, I mean, like for adventure books, like any 5B adventure will do. So like people are already doing those. I think it would be cool to have a published, a full length published adventure, and like it'd be cool to have more. It's just a matter of time and what people want. Yeah, I think that would be super rad. Future plans to create rules. Not horror. I'm not super interested in horror, but sci-fi I think would be cool. Superheroes, like, not really, not really. What are you most excited about for future Nimble? I don't know. Just I'm excited to play it more. I'd love to be able to play more often. I think that'd be cool. So maybe once things calm down, I'll get my local group back together and just have game night every once in a while. DK, yeah. What is the icon on the Kickstarter Adventures mockup? I don't know. Oh, that's just a crown. Can you use 2 turns of assess, create an opening to gain? Do you mean like can you do it twice in the same turn? Do you mean? Hey Edward, good to see you, man. Thanks for stopping in. I'd have to check. So like I would just check the rules. Let's check the rules. Let's see what it says. Where is assess? Here. Great way to include creative. Choose one of the following, then ask a choose one of the following, then make a DC 12 skill check. 2, ask question. Create opening. Increase the next primary die rolled against a target by 1 this round. So could you assess twice and create an opening? Like you feint this way and then you like trip them a little bit, like with whatever skills you use to increase the next primary die rolled against a target by 2? Yeah, I don't see why not, if that's what you're asking. But you'd have to succeed on both of those skill checks. And it would have to make sense. So, maybe. That's 4D chess right there. Oh, the icon on the heroes box. That is I don't know what that is. Something. It's just temporary. That's not actually what it's gonna look like. If you were watching earlier, they're gonna look a little bit cooler. So this is the latest version of what they're gonna look like, and it's gonna have I think I can. So like it's gonna have like a group of heroes like fight like surrounded by skeletons, little skelly boys. Yeah, Edward, that is an acceptable excuse. All right, what monster? I think that's all the questions. Am I right, Double King? Yeah, that's all the questions. What monster you guys would have designed? Let's design a monster. I don't know if we'll have time to do the whole thing. Should it just be the stack of 3 kobolds on top of each other? Do you guys have any ideas there? Or if you want, so one thing that I wanted to share with you guys was like the old. I was thinking about doing like maybe a design diary of like all the different versions that Nimble sort of went through, all the old permutations. We could definitely do that. We do monsters. We can talk about whatever. Grung Warband. That sounds cool. Can you add werehuman Sphinx? Ooh, a Sphinx would be challenging. That'd be good. Yeah, we could do Sphinx. What do you guys think? Vote for Kobold? We have Kobold already. How about a candy corn construct? I don't want it to be like super goofy, but maybe I want something aquatic. Oh, you know what? Earl Land just sent me some new for a Halloween. Oh, for a Halloween adventure. Okay. I had players with OP characters. I had to create a monster that absorbed the damages. So Earl did just send me some new pieces of art. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. Maybe one of these guys. Copy image. So there's one. I'll check out your guys' comments in a sec. Ooh, I do like this guy. Copy. um, copy image. I don't love water creatures just because it's sort of hard to have an adventure in water. But like some of them are cool. I did run Call of the Netherdeep, and a lot of that was underwater. There's sort of underwater. Ooh, here's some more cool ones. Copy image. I love to design like with some art in mind. So yeah, let's take a look at these and see if you guys dig any of these. Okay, so a chimera, a lion, goat, serpent. His name would be Trap, of course. I think I have a cool piece of art from Justin Gerard of one of his chimeras. Let's grab that. All right. All right, so this is Justin Gerard's chimera. It is a lion, a goat, and then like a two-headed dragon, and then a snake, that snake tail, which is pretty sweet. Let's take a look at these. So this is some art from Earl Land. So like a shark, like a shark fighter guy, which is pretty sweet. How cool is that? That's pretty rad. And then we have like this sort of sea monster kind of thing. I think those are cool. Then we have these giant lobster boys. 3 kobolds as a level 1 solo. I think 3 kobolds would be fun. I don't know how to do a poll here, so a Viking boss, a second, a kobold mech guy. Many cool traps. Do we have an arch lich? We don't have an arch lich. That'd be challenging to do. I do have some cool art for an arch lich. Let me grab that. Yeah, that would be cool. I mean, do you guys want to do something serious, or do you want to do something like a little bit silly? Because we could go either way. Yeah, so here's the art. The arch lich. Desktop. Grab that in. All right. Could do the poll in Discord. So here's some cool art for the arch lich. Like he looks like a dude you don't want to mess with. A high level silly monster is something that is not in the book. Yeah. So we've got lobster boys, lobstruck vanguard, and then we have some sort of like anglerfish kind of duders. These guys are kind of cool. And then we have some like spooky looking dudes. These are pretty nasty. These are sketches, of course, but one of those might be cool. And we have an arch lich. A chimera art. Yeah, chimera is pretty cool. Matt, would you mind putting up a poll? Would you mind putting up a poll if you're still here? in Discord. Just pick whichever ones. Do the spooky one. Yeah, just pick whichever ones you think are cool and put up a poll of 4 or 5 different things. We do have the 3 kobolds stacked on top of each other too, which is a pretty sweet one. Where is that? I think it was Audi Ravindra did that one. Yeah. There's the kobold boys. That's always a good option. Okay, cool. Legendary giant snail, that'd be cool. The Cthulhu-looking monsters are awesome. Please have those in the book. Maybe we may or may not have space for them, but maybe it'll be with like the psychic, brain-eating, spooky dudes from Baldur's Gate. All right, so while Matt is getting that together, I want to show you guys where Nimble started. In this, you can see this file is called E&D. That's what I was calling it because like it's it's a little pun, like because my name is Evan. Sphinxes would be cool. Yeah, Sphinxes would be cool. Mo, you're cracking me up, man. Yeah, let me show you one of the early. Give me 1 second. I'll show you one of the very early versions of Nimble. So this was from the first zine, and so we don't need to go that far back, but initially, so you can see these are the first classes that I started to develop. Initially, I was going to go with we'll just do a few minutes of design diary while people are working on the poll. Mind players, yeah, that's what they're mind players. Yep. The poll is going to be in Discord, I assume. Just in the main channel of Discord, or maybe the announcements or something. Let's see. Yeah, it'll be somewhere in Discord, and then Matt will let me know. Okay, so Mage was one of the first classes that I developed, and you can see that like the design is like pretty Spartan, right? Okay, the main Nimble discussion channel. All right, thanks. So initially, I was going to call the Mage the Elementalist. Ooh, and look, the Chaos table is something that I had pretty soon. Chaos and Discipline was what it was initially. Yeah, let's just go through this. So this is what it looked like initially, and I thought that I was going to have like just very simple art because I didn't know that any money was going to be made on it, so I was just going to like do like super duper simple art. But luckily, this guy, this artist, like was too busy and he refused to do art for me. So I was like, all right, fine. I'll find someone else. And I found some other really good artists. So like where the previous Kickstarter or the previous crowdfunder ended up, and like where I started, like where I thought it would end up was like way down here. I'm like, yeah, it'll be a zine, but like just a little bit more, you know. And initially, it was just going to be like 2 zines, and then like I'll let a third one like an adventure zine, and that ended up becoming the Game Master's Guide. So like the thing grew like exponentially in development. All right, so let's see. You may learn any fire, lightning, or ice cantrip or first order spells. Oh, okay. So already, so I actually don't even remember this. But initially, I already had the idea that I wanted to rename the spell levels because that was always confusing. Oh, I'm level 2. I get level 2 spells. No, actually, you don't. You get that at some other weird level, right? So changing that, like changing words that were confusing and one of the earliest things was, yeah, I wanted the mage to have fire, lightning, and ice, and I was going to call him the Elementalist. But I think at the same time, MCDM was developing their game, and I thought I heard Matt say that their spellcaster was going to be called an Elementalist, and I was like, oh, I can't use that then because someone else already has it. I think he ended up changing it anyway, but anyway, I like Mage. Mage is a cool, it's a cool name. Okay, no worries. Thank you so much, Matt, for doing that. I don't think everybody would have wanted me to sit around and wait while I put that together. So yeah, guys, check out the poll while we're chatting. I'll give that a few minutes to percolate. So before I decided to do my own thing, this was like the time where the OGL shenanigans were happening, and so like a lot of people were developing like their own RPGs, and I remember Matt Colville talking about his a lot, and this was like the very beginnings of DC20, like before it was even DC20. I think he was like cooking up homebrew rules. I watched his channel some, but once I decided like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna be making, I think I'm gonna make my own like my own version of like Nimble, its own thing. Then I sort of had to like limit how much I was looking at other people's things, but already a lot of these ideas were pretty well in there. But level 1 now, like you don't learn the first level spells at level 1, or the tier 1 spells. You learn those later, so that level 1 is a little bit simpler. Yeah, and we already have mana. You gain 2 mana each time you gain a mage level. Okay, that's cool. And I was already writing it with like multi-classing in mind, right? So you gain 2 mana each time you gain a mage level. So if you multi-class into like something else, you wouldn't gain more mana. Yeah. Casting a spell costs mana equal to its level. Yep. A 0 for cantrip, 1 for first order spell, etc., etc. You can memorize a number of spells. Yep. So, still, like I was keeping a lot of the things, a lot of the craft from D&D. Here, like you have to memorize spells. So this is very early. Level 2, Broadening Mind. Whenever you finish a long rest, so it's a long rest, not a safe rest, you may forget 1 cantrip in 1 higher order spell and learn new spell. Okay, so you can just like swap out spells. That's not super interesting. Okay, so like ranger specialty. So like a lot of this is just not it's not quite developed. All right, paladin. So yeah, it was paladin. And initially, all of the classes had the same name as their D&D counterparts, but people like I tried to show someone like a ranger. All right, here's my version of the ranger, and if I think it's all in Discord. You can scroll up as far as you want. You can see a lot of these discussions. So here's my version of the ranger, my first draft of the ranger, and like people are like, no, a ranger needs to be this, a ranger needs to do that. So like right away, one of the very first things I decided was like, all right, well, looks like all of the classes need their own names so that people won't associate this with that, so that they can say, oh, this is a ranger, this is a hunter, I was thinking of calling it something different, like a thorns, or like some cool evocative thing, but like hunter sounded cool. So Hunter's Mark. So this was when I was still using action points. Like everything was points, but like, action is just easier. Creature you can see within range of your bow is marked for the next minute. Your attacks deal d6 damage. Okay, I think that's just Hunter's Mark from D&D. So initially, the hunter had a magical quiver. So what was special about the hunter? They had a magical quiver and they could shoot elemental arrows. So again, it started off very close to 5e, which is where I thought it was going to be, and then like what if I'm going to put in the effort of doing this, like why not like make it what I want it to be instead of like this other thing. So each of the revisions sort of departed further and further away from D&D and just sort of become what I liked more. So they had like magical spells and that kind of stuff, or magical arrows. And then initially, yeah, the defend reaction was called block/dodge. So improvements were made. Oh, living ballista. Oh, this is cool. I remember this one now. So yeah, you guys may know like the finished version, but yeah, I don't think most of you were here when I was giving had these ideas. Card level 9 uses 2 charges of like your quiver or whatever, and concentration. Your quiver transforms into an immovable magical ballista for up to 1 minute. Your speed becomes 0 and cannot change as long as your ballista is active. Okay, this is just like very D&D sort of language. It deals Dex D12 piercing damage and has a range of 300 feet. So we're still using, feet and oh, it's becomes 0 and it cannot change and like, but like your quiver transforming into a ballista and like that got changed pretty quick. That got changed pretty quick. Back last night. All right. Good to have you, man. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right, we'll look at it just a little bit more, and then we'll take a look at the we'll take a look at the poll. Then we have Primal Hunter Survival. All right, let's see. There's a Ranger. Let's take a look at Barbarian. So Rage, 1 action point. Whenever you enter your rage, gain temp HP equal to your armor plus barbarian level while raging. Add your dex to all attack damage. Okay, so this is, and your rage is satiated and ends if you land a critical hit after 1 minute or if you gain the dying condition. So similar, but like not nearly as fun, not nearly as interesting, mechanically speaking, I think. Reckless attack. So like, yeah, extra attack. Yeah. The first time you make an attack on your turn, you may make an additional attack for 0 AP at the same level of advantage or disadvantage. So yeah, just a very 5e kind of stuff. And I really like where things ended up. But it is just very interesting for me to like look through like all the previous versions, and then like here is where I had so cleric, warlock, like this cool art, but like I very much prefer the current art that we have. A fighter, monk. So you can see all of the classes were pretty much the same. I did decide early on that I didn't want wizard and sorcerer for some reason. I don't remember why I decided that so early. Then this was one of the very first pieces of art that I commissioned for this one. I commissioned this piece of art, and it's pretty cool. I kind of like it. What is the average size of a battle map in Nimble? How many movement actions would a character need to cross it from one side without obstacles? 2 or 3 movements, so like 1.5 feet. Like, yay big. Yay big. Like you don't need a map like 3 feet by 3 feet, because like who's gonna spend their turns like that many turns like moving so many times? And if you're too far spread out, like it's like 6-year-olds on the soccer field, like they're all going to clump around the ball anyway. But it needs to take place physically at a table, and a lot of people's dining room tables aren't that big. But also having like a little bit tighter of a space to play, I think is cool. So like if I just take like this pirate book and open it up, yeah, that's about right. Maybe a little bit bigger. Or this, if I take this book, probably like this, whatever size that is, like 1 foot by 1.5 feet. Yeah, that's about it. So I think the battle maps that are going to be included are going to be this size folded twice. So you open up one way, and it opens up the other way, and then it's going to be that big. And then some being half that, I think is cool. Yeah, Matt, if you can add the link here if you want. I think it's if you go to nimblerpg.com/discord, I think that'll do it. That'll give you the invite. All right, so let's take a look at the poll. Let's see how the poll's going. Show results. Stack of 3 kobolds by a mile. Let's do it. Say no more. All right, guys, we're making a stack of 3 kobolds. All right, let's come up with a cool name for these kobold boys. Let's come up with a cool name for these kobolds. And like a year or two ago, oh, thanks, Matt. A year or two ago, someone had the idea of having like a stack of 3 goblins, and I was like, yeah, it's such a cool idea. But then I started thinking about it. 3 goblins would not stack on top of each other. They would not want to fight together. They would fight with each other and not like as a unit. So kobolds fighting together as a unit, like working together like that feels more lore appropriate. So that is what we're gonna do. So these are the notes. These are all the notes that I have from last time we talked about it years ago. Stack 3 goblins. Slorkbork Dork is like his name. Like one guy's name is Slork, the other guy's name is Bork, and the other guy's name is Dork. So something like that might be fun. And I've got a list of cool names for kobolds. Let me grab them real quick. I've got them on my. Oh, and I've got my stab sticker on my phone. Oh man, I love these names so much. I love these names so much. All right. Let me just make sure they're formatted. Okay. All right, so here's a bunch of names that I just was like, I'll just every once in a while I'll type ham shake. So like yeah, the kobolds, like, so kobolds basically they name themselves like just based off of like words that sound fun, or like food, like boots or Paschetti. Can you imagine playing a kobold named Paschetti or Splinters? BLT, Miko, Toads, Bonk, Handshake. Fever, Cricket, Pebbles. Leaf is definitely not a kobold name. Waberto. Waberto. All right, so some of these, so these are different names. They're just got mixed in there. Narbles, not Barber. Booger, no, not Booger. Booger's more like a goblin name. Liege, no, get out of here. Narbles, like names that they heard but like misheard, like sort of like kids. Like my son used to say water mountain all the time instead of water fountain, or Etiflint instead of elephant. It's like those are the kinds of names that kobolds have. Boots is on bottom. Deal. All right, Boots. Like he found some shoes one day. And he loved them so much he started wearing them, and like all the other kobolds sort of made fun of him and called him Boots. That's funny. Or no, they wouldn't do that. Goblins would do that. Kobolds would like they would call him Boots as an honorific title. Like, wow, he's got boots. Like, wow, where'd you find those boots? And there's like kids' shoes because the kobolds are so small. Three Stacks the Destroyer. No, every time I see a comment from you, man, it cracks me up. Or says stab, poke, bash. Stab, poke, smash. Yeah, maybe that's a little bit too on the nose. Yeah. Bonks hit his head. Miko, is Miko a thing? I feel like that name is from something. The loyal dog follower found in the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. Okay, well, I've never heard of that. Oh, Miko from Disney, from the little, is that the little raccoon from Disney? Is that what Miko is? Yeah, we can't call him Miko. Hamshake. Hamshake is a good one. Oh, that's like my favorite thing. All right, so let's don't worry about the name too much. Stack. No, we'll give it a title. Like Kobold. Like a Kobold Titan. Like a Kobold Giant, a Kobold. One-man warband. These are vibes are going for. Creme brulee. Are any kobolds female? Yeah, sure. Hamshake would be. Yeah, no, that's the only fair way to fight them. It's the only fair way to fight them. Kobold ultimate phalanx formation. Oh yeah, that's a good one. Kobold Colossus, and it's just like 5 feet tall. I do like that one. That one's cute. That's good. We'll go with that one for now, and we'll give it the feared Kobold Colossus. So this should be like level 2 solo. I think this should be a level 2 guy. There are folks who call him Tim. Level 2 solo. So let's go. Let's go to the GM guide. We'll scroll down to the solo section. There's your monster. So these guys are not going to have... So he's not going to have armor initially. So he should probably have... Okay. Did you try several lower level boss monsters at once during testing? Nope, never tried that. Feel free to try it and let me know how it goes. The Wombo Combo. Yeah, no, I never tried that. It should work. So like for a level 10 party, like maybe 2 level 5 solos would work, or maybe it would be closer to like 2 level 4 solos or 2 level 6 solos, but the math shouldn't be far off. I'd be very interested if anybody wanted to test that and see how it goes. Flick, Pinky, Smart, Bart, Homer. Yeah. Okay, so we want this guy to have like 3 phases. So no armor, I think. So 100 hit points. So the first column here is for medium armor. He should have 75 hit points. But since there is no armor, let's give him 90 hit points. He's a kobold after armor, right? Just a little bit more than 75 to make up for the no armor. 90 hit points. You know what? This is what we're gonna do. This is what we're gonna do. we're going to give him 40 hit points. We're going to give him 40 hit points. Then let's go down here. I'm arguing with myself in my head. Okay, we'll give him 90 hit points. Bloodied, top, kobold dies. And then last stand, middle, kobold dies. Gets knocked out? Question mark. So maybe for like silly monsters like this, like they don't die, they just get knocked out. Maybe. And then he finally dies. So yeah, so that's an easy way to do that in the current framework that we have. So bloodied, top kobold dies, and then last stand at middle kobold dies, and then like the yeah, okay, cool. I do like that. Battle formation, kobold battle formation. I like that one too. So my thought is that only the top monster attacks, because like the other ones are like holding on to his legs, you know, so that he doesn't fall off. So only the top one attacks. Okay, so he should just have. All right, let's copy it. After each hero's turn, choose one. After each hero's turn, move 6, then so let's look at the art again. Let's drag the art in here. All right. So bonk is the first thing. Move 6, and then how much damage should he be doing? Let's check the chart. He should be dealing 9 damage initially. 9 damage, so he's rolling d4s. Since he's a kobold. Excuse me. 2d4. That's going to be 5 damage plus 4. 2d4 plus 4. All right, that's clean. On crit, dazed, because it's a bonk. Get it? So again, yeah, that might be their names. So again, we're just going by the art. So the art, what would it feel to be critically hit on your dome by a frying pan? It'd probably daze you, right? Move 8. Okay, there's less. So like this is what I'm thinking. There's less weight on him, so now he can move faster. Then 3d4 plus 4 on crit. Vicious? What are some other cool things we could do instead of that? What are some other cool things we can do instead of that? Let's go to the conditions. Blinded? No. Charmed? No. Dazed? Dying, frightened, hampered, incapacitated, invisible, petrified, poisoned. Yeah, maybe poisoned. There we go. On hit, poisoned. It's got a poison blade. And then maybe the last guy's name is just Gary. What could he do? Okay, so the initial idea was that when the first one dies, so Slork Bork Dork, when Slork dies, there's an ability. Slork, no! Bork Dork picks up his fallen brother and uses him as a shield. He gains medium armor. I do like that idea. That's a fun idea. And then when he dies, Dork picks up both Slork and Bork, and then like something else happens. I think that's fun. Okay, so Stab grabs the frying pan and uses it as a shield. Medium armor. That's fun. Ooh, and maybe Gary. Maybe what he does is he bonks and stabs. Each turn. That's pretty nasty. Okay, so let's just double check. So his small attack damage should be 9. His big attack should be 18. All right, so it goes from 9 to 9, 10, 11, like 12. And then this is going to be 9 plus 12, which is 21. Yeah, so that's pretty much perfect. So it starts off low and it ramps up pretty big. Medium armor. Yeah, so I think this is the idea. This is really cool. I really like it. I really like it. I think something like that would be super fun. And maybe he will have like one ability. No. When do something. Yeah, it needs just like one additional little thing. Ooh, maybe it activates a trap. Maybe it activates a trap. All right, let's see. Let's see what you guys are saying. Mo, Larry, Girly, yeah. Yeah, so they can gain each other's ability conditions included. Yeah. Bonk, stab, and kindness. Kobold tribes secret sneak the stack formation. Yeah. Uses others as shield. Yeah. What's the difference between a legendary like this, where bloodied means a part of the monster dies, and a Titan? Gary, Gary Toe and Swirly. Gary Toe and Swirly. All right, congratulations, Timothy. You win chat. That's too good. So Gary, Toe, and Swirly feels like that would be goblin names. Gary, Toe, and Swirly. All right, so maybe this guy isn't Gary because I don't want to reuse this. He'll be Narbles. I don't know that it makes sense that they would activate a trap when one of them dies. It feels like the others would get mad and something would happen. It feels like the others would get mad, right? What do you guys think? I feel like I should. So initially, he's doing very little damage, relatively little damage. Activate the general kobold ability. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe like we don't need to overthink it. It's a level 2 thing. When bloodied and at last stand, the top kobold. Yeah, maybe that's all it is. Kobold. No. When bloodied and at last stand, the top kobold dies and falls off. The next kobold can move and make an attack for free. Yeah, no, I don't think so. I don't think I'm super interested in like doing super wacky stuff, Mo. We gotta stay on theme. Definitely gotta stay on theme. Yeah. So how is it phrased in the GM guide? When an ally within 2 spaces dies, attack once for him. So when this guy dies, the next guy, he makes a free attack, probably poisoning someone. Yeah, I really like this. This is going to be a fun one to play. This is definitely going to be a fun one to play. Let's see if we're ready to... ooh, guys, look what happened. We just hit the next stretch goal. All right, so I'm going to update the stretch goals a little bit later, but what did we get? I forgot what it was. We got the companion builder and the maybe wood slipcase upgrade. So that's pretty exciting. Yeah, defeated. Yeah. There we go. We'll say defeated. Good call. You are right. You are true. Okay, so we just have to clean it up a little bit. Yeah, I really like this. I think this is gonna be a fun one. This is gonna be great, and it makes sense. It like in the fantasy, she should have 75. Yeah, it feels like it's balanced. Last stand. That's clean. That is a nice stat block right there, guys. I think the name could be a little bit better, but I'm happy with it. I'm happy enough with it. Narbles moves 3 times. Hmm. I feel like this should be like 5. That's not enough. Okay. He could just move fast. No, he would just move once. Oh, I see what you're saying, though. I see what you're saying. There we go. There we go. Frying and typo frying and. Oh, pan. There you go. Cool. I love it. All right, guys, I'm gonna put that together. Maybe it should be like Narbles and the Narbles and friends. I feel like it should move pretty slow initially. Move 4, 6, then 8. Narbles and go. Yeah, that's good. I mix the conditions. Well, look at that. Okay, bonk, 2d4 on crit taste, then stab. Yep. Yeah. I like that the stat block tells a story. This is a cool one. All right, guys. I think we're gonna end it there. Thank you so much for hanging out. I'm gonna have some more cool stuff coming this coming week. I don't think I'm gonna stream tomorrow, but I will be updating the Kickstarter the stretch goals, we did unlock the companion builder and the wood slipcase upgrade. So I'll be sending an email. Oh wow, wow. Okay, I guess that didn't update. So thank you so much for hanging out. It's been fun. I think we had some cool ideas, some new stuff, and all the great questions. I really appreciate you guys. Thanks for joining us on the Discord channel. We have 5 days left. Please continue telling your friends and spreading the word. And well, I don't know. We'll keep doing some cool stuff. Thank you so much, Edward. Appreciate it, everybody. All right. Thank you, Matt. Also, really appreciate you for all your help. All right. See you guys.